Welcome to Wallace Anwar. Today, we're talking about the recent conflict surrounding the Kampung Sungai Baru demolition. It's a situation that, well, it's drawn some really sharp reactions from key political figures.
Yes, definitely.
And it puts the spotlight squarely on this tricky balance between community rights and, public order.
Exactly. What we saw at Kampung Sungai Baru, it isn't just some local dispute, is it? It's really a moment that raises fundamental questions about how we as a society actually navigate development, dissent, and ultimately the rule of law.
Okay, so let's start with the immediate aftermath. We saw pretty swift and strong condemnation from Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim, right, about the conflict that broke out.
Very strong, yes.
Especially concerning the attack on a civil servant, Assistant Commissioner Effendi Buang. He got injured in the process.
A serious injury.
The Prime Minister's stance was very clear. He urged authorities to launch an immediate investigation and to quickly apprehend those responsible for the assault, even mentioning potential masterminds behind it.
That's a really significant statement. Coming from the top, while he, firmly upholds the right to peaceful assembly, expressing your views.
Which is crucial.
Absolutely, it's fundamental. But he made it unequivocally clear that this right comes with a big caveat: responsibility. You have to adhere to laws, norms, order.
Right.
He actually described the actions, the ones causing injury to the police chief, as despicable, and emphasized that violence, especially if it stems from incitement or hatred or maybe false information, it just can't be allowed to take root here.
So the message is peaceful gathering is one thing, but exploiting it for narrow political gains, sowing unrest, that's crossing a line.
Precisely. That seemed to be the core principle articulated there. You distinguish legitimate protest from, well, lawlessness.
And it wasn't just the PM. The Minister of Housing and Local Government, Nga Korming, he also weighed in pretty strongly.
He did, yeah.
He used social media, didn't he? Shared that quite striking image of Assistant Commissioner Effendi Buang injured.
Yes, that image really underscored the severity for a lot of people, I think.
And Minister Nga Korming's message was blunt. Violent acts like this have absolutely no place in Malaysia.
No, and his message seemed to tap into a broader national feeling. He highlighted how Malaysia is generally known for peace, unity, harmony, and that this kind of violent conduct just goes against those core values.
So his call was for everyone to basically unite in condemning violence, all forms of it.
Exactly. And to support the authorities in upholding law and order. It's framed as safeguarding public safety, reinforcing those values that kind of hold the nation together.
It really pushes you to think about the role each person plays in maintaining stability, doesn't it?
It does. It's a collective responsibility, not just down to law enforcement.
Okay, so we have the official condemnations, the emphasis on law and order, but let's peel back the layers a bit. What's the deeper context here? This demolition didn't happen in a vacuum.
Not at all.
It was carried out under a court order, right? Part of a much larger, long-standing redevelopment plan for Kampung Sungai Baru.
That's right. And this isn't a small project we're talking about. It's significant.
How big?
It involves 3.2 hectares of land. The plan is for 328 residential units.
Wow.
Yeah, including 67 terraced houses and 14 apartment blocks. It's a major redevelopment.
So a huge transformation planned.
And this specific plan, or at least the process, has a history stretching back, well, over 9 years.
9 years.
Yes. Negotiations apparently began way back in 2016.
Okay.
But, and this is crucial, a significant number of residents have remained, let's say, deeply unhappy with both the joint venture agreement proposed and the compensation package offered.
Ah, the compensation. That often seems to be a sticking point in these situations.
It really is. Specifically, the rate was set at 400 ringgit per square foot.
Okay, 400 ringgit. Who set that rate?
That was set by the Federal Territory's Land and Mines Office, a standard government valuation body.
Right. But for many residents, that was the main point of contention.
It seems so. Many felt it just wasn't enough, didn't reflect the true cost of relocating, finding equivalent housing, especially in KL.
Especially for families who've maybe lived there for generations.
Exactly. There's the financial aspect, but also the community ties, the history, things a simple square foot rate doesn't capture.
The disconnect between market value and sort of lived value.
Precisely. And this unresolved issue, this dissatisfaction, it led to some residents simply refusing to move.
Which then caused delays for the whole project.
Significant delays.
Yeah.
It's a classic, almost textbook example of the complexities when large-scale development meets established communities.
And their sense of fairness, their rights.
Absolutely. It's not just about buildings. It's about people's homes, their lives.
So this brings us right up to the day of the demolition itself. The tension had been building for years.
Simmering.
What exactly happened that day? How did it escalate?
Well, reports indicate that even though the area was officially sealed off under the court order,
Right.
a group of residents went into that restricted zone.
To stop it.
That appears to be the intention, yes. To physically prevent the demolition from starting or proceeding.
Okay.
And it was during this confrontation, this tense moment, that Assistant Commissioner Effendi Wang went into the zone.
The police chief, right. To engage with them.
Presumably to talk, to try and de-escalate. That's what police leadership would typically do in such a situation.
Things went wrong.
They did. In the confusion, the jostling, the high emotions, he suffered that head injury.
Which is when the police had to then call for calm and disperse the residents?
Yes, to regain control of the situation, which had clearly become unsafe.
It sounds like a complete breakdown in dialogue at that critical moment.
Tragically, yes. You see legitimate concerns, years of frustration, boiling over into actual physical confrontation.
Yeah. It just highlights how vital effective communication is, doesn't it? And conflict resolution mechanisms.
Absolutely critical, especially with issues like displacement, property rights. Emotions run incredibly high.
It shows that very fine line between, expressing your grievances, which is a right, and crossing over into actions that are unlawful or worse, violent.
It's a very fine line indeed.
So this situation, it really forces us to ask, when you have these deeply entrenched disputes, what is the most effective way forward for both the authorities and the community? How do you find a resolution that feels genuinely peaceful and just?
That really is the key question, isn't it? I mean, looking back at Kampung Sungai Baru, it wasn't just about the money, the 400 ringgit. It seems there was also this feeling among some residents, maybe many, that their voices just weren't properly heard over those 9 years.
Since 2016, yeah.
Right. So for authorities, maybe it requires more than just ticking the legal boxes. Perhaps more proactive engagement, using independent mediators maybe, earlier on.
Before things get so polarized.
Exactly. And for residents, well, it means understanding the legal routes available, pursuing them fully, but stopping short of actions that break the law or turn violent.
Finding ways to be heard without resorting to confrontation.
It demands empathy, doesn't it? A real willingness on all sides to try and understand the other's viewpoint, their constraints. That seems to have broken down here.
It certainly seems that way. This has been a really insightful look into what is clearly a very complex issue. It touches the very heart of our communities and raises these big questions about progress, fairness, how we live together.
It does. And events like this, they really compel us to reflect on our shared responsibility, upholding peace, respecting the processes we have, even when we disagree strongly with the outcome.
Finding that balance between development needs and protecting communities. It's an ongoing challenge.
It really is. It's about the law, yes, but also about applying it with perhaps more justice and compassion. How we manage that is key.
Remember to like and subscribe for more videos like this.